780-1100. Who's with us, Karen?
Jeff Suszynski, owner of Paul Davis Restoration. Thank you for coming, and thank you for all your graciousness for our effort today and throughout the weekend.
Glad to be here, guys.
And Jeff,
Suszynski.
Thank you.
Thank you very much
18 times. Nice job, Triv.
For the donation. What does Paul Davis Restoration do?
Well, we help people a lot like you do. And all the good you're doing here with Coast for Kids, we help people in their time of need. If they've had some kind of unexpected damage, a flood, or sometimes even a fire at their home or business, a tree falls down and hits their home, we go in and we help them and put things back together for them.
So you do everything? From plumbing, the carpeting, everything?
Got it, man. We do the cleanup, what's called mitigation. We go in and help stabilize the structure and make sure that it's safe. We go in and we actually get the contents out that have been damaged. You can imagine, you've had a fire at your home, and every piece of belongings that you have now has soot on it. And we'll go in, we'll take those items, inventory them, take them back to our facility, clean them, process them, get the smoke odor out of them, and then while we're doing that, we're putting your home back together. And when everything is complete, we'll actually bring those contents back, put them back in your home, and hopefully you're back in a home that you remember from prior to the damage.
With this rain that we just had recently, did the phones ring? Were there any flooding, or was that just another media hype? But they were talking about flooding.
Well, frankly, it is beautiful weather. Wind and rain and stuff like that. And my friends think I'm kind of sick, but the truth is, when that kind of stuff happens, we get to help more people. And yeah, this morning the phones have been ringing, not quite like we expected, but there were some flooded basements, and there were some trees that had fallen and torn the electrical lines off people's houses. And actually, over the weekend, some gentleman had backed a hot mower into his garage. It caught the house on fire, and we're there right now talking.
Lawnmower?
Yeah. Don't take a hot lawnmower into the garage. Let it cool down.
I've never heard of that before. Yeah. Really?
Yeah.
And it caught the house on fire.
It did. It's a hot lawnmower.
Is fire the biggest part of your business?
Really, water is.
Water?
Everyday water. You come home from work and all of a sudden the hose that supplies your washing machine had busted, and there's 3 rooms in your home that are soaked, that kind of stuff. Fire is devastating, right? And that's what makes the news. But frankly, every day there's water damage taking place in so many homes and businesses and schools and churches, and we're out helping those folks.
I hear these stories. Are they true? I'm asking you about mold. The house filled with mold. Does Paul Davis Restoration take care of that also?
Yeah, we sure do. Mold, if water is not addressed properly, mold can be a very serious issue. And Paul Davis coming in quickly when there's been a water damage of some sort, and getting things dry properly prevents the mold. But that always isn't possible, and sometimes people end up with mold, and we can go in and we can remediate that mold, clean it up, test it to make sure that it's safe to be back in that property, for everybody living there or working there.
Now, Neil, you're just going to sit there? You're going to say something?
I'll say whatever you want. He knows. He's the expert.
I mean, Jeff is one of your clients. Neil's a salesperson for WTAM 1100, right?
Correct.
Yes. Is Jeff easy to work with?
Just the best.
Is he?
Very easy, and his business is helping people in their time of need. So,
Jeff, does the insurance, people's homeowners insurance, help pay for some of this? How does that work?
Yeah, typically that's probably 95% of the work we're doing is insurance related. There are certain clients that we do a lot of work for, big industrial and commercial type stuff that maybe doesn't involve insurance as often because their deductibles are so high. But that's the type of damage that your typical insurance policy helps you with, is that, car accidentally drives into the house or something crazy like that. So yeah, and a lot of our work comes from referrals because people know that we can do a good job in helping them.
How long have you been in business?
Well, I've been in this business 26 years, and Paul Davis is actually an international franchise organization, and that started back in 1966 in Jacksonville, Florida, believe it or not. So
okay, so I'm visualizing a storm in the summertime. A tree falls, big oak tree, okay? A lot of us have those in our neighborhood. I do. It lands on the house, smooshes the house, caves the roof in. We call Paul Davis Restoration for that? How does that work?
Absolutely. You know, it's nobody really wants our services, but when it's needed, it's awesome. And so, and that's the beauty of being a full-service company, whether it's getting the tree off the house, securing the house, and rebuilding the house, you know, whether it's coming out and cleaning up the initial damages that have occurred and then restoring the property and the contents. You know, that one call to Paul Davis is really to your advantage, and we're so happy to help. We love helping people. We really do.
So, and just asking, who contacts the insurance company for the homeowner? The homeowner or you? How does that work?
No, the homeowner typically makes that call. And, you know, people can turn it into their insurance company. We'll get contacted by their carrier, or sometimes the agent or the adjuster will contact us and say, here's a homeowner that needs help. You know, some people go to our website, restorationcleveland.com, and they'll go out there and they'll actually find us doing a Google search because they're proactive. And in today's world, a lot of people, you know, they don't even call their insurance company first. Heck, they may not even know who their insurance agent is, right? So they're just going to go online, hit the app, and boom, and find us.
What's the name? What's the website?
restorationcleveland.com.
restorationcleveland.com. And a phone number?
440-834-1155.
This is probably a really stupid question, but is summertime way busier than wintertime for your business?
You know, that's why it's so awesome living in Northeast Ohio, because in the winter we have lots of ice and snow and freezing temperatures that causes lots of problems. And in the summer we have these awesome thunderstorms. So really there is no seasonality to our business. We have good weather. We have variations. I love the four seasons. I've lived in Northeast Ohio all my life. And
I love Frankie Valley. I agree with you.
Well, there you go.
Well, go ahead.
Oh, I thought you wanted...
You said Frankie Valley. I pointed to Billy.
No, I thought you wanted to ask a question.
No, well... There you go, Billy.
Don't hurt your voice for Friday and Saturday.
Jeff, something as simple as, say, a crack in a ring in a toilet. I mean, something like that could do tens of thousands of dollars damage, correct?
Oh, Carmen, it's amazing. One of the biggest culprits that we run into are ice maker lines in a refrigerator. And really, it's behind the refrigerator or underneath, and folks don't see that occurring. And that thing will slowly leak. And by the time it shows the damages coming out from underneath the refrigerator, there's often tens of thousands of dollars in damage.
Incredible. From something so simple.
From so simple, right. It's just a little tiny water line, and it may only drip every 5 or 10 seconds, but it causes lots of problems.
You know, I can't believe it, too. So many people I just know of that go on vacation for, like, the winter, 2, 3, 4 months they spend in Florida, and a pipe breaks in their home while they're gone in Florida.
Triv, I hate to say this, but really, when you leave for Florida, shut your water off, folks. Because
that's bad business, Jeff.
Know,
you're not supposed to be saying that.
But I care about people, and honestly, you all need to shut your water off, because if you count on your brother, your sister, your neighbor to go check on the house, well, frankly, they're typically not very good at it.
Yeah.
And by the time they do find it, we've had situations where we've walked up to the front door and there's an ice cube pouring out of the front door. Things are bad when you see that.
Without mentioning any names, because I know you probably don't want to do that, but what's the biggest job you've done? I mean, like how huge? I mean, how long did it take? Was there any one job that was unbelievable?
We do a lot of different projects. We've done some really neat church projects in some of the historical churches here in Cleveland. And that kind of work is always so unique and so powerful. The history of the church and some big fires and, multi-million-dollar projects that will last for well over a year or two. And when you consider the fact that nobody schedules these types of projects, right? If you're going to remodel or you're going to build a new building, building, you put a lot of planning into it. These events happen almost instantaneously. There is a one-time situation that has caused all this problem, and then it's kind of trying to get your arms around it, and that's the fun of this business. It's so energizing helping people in their time of need.
You ever go to a job and you look at it and you go, we can't help you. You need to rip this down. It's a wreck. Has that ever happened?
Well, yeah, you've been to houses where the damage is beyond restoration, and that certainly does happen. Probably the most impressive one I ever saw was literally a tree strike to a house. Believe it or not, it was a massive oak tree that had fallen during a thunderstorm. It was a 2-story home, and it hit the home so hard that it racked the entire home off of its foundation, and the home had to be torn down. There was really no way to restore it.
Tell people how they get a hold of Paul Davis one more time.
Hey, when you need Paul Davis, give us a call at 440-834-1155, or you can find us at restorationcleveland.com.
Jeff, you talked about churches. Ironically enough, and I don't know how rare
Can you hold that question so we don't get too far behind
Sure.
here? Okay.
You're the boss.
You have a clock in front of you?
Yes, I do.
Thank you.
It's time.
Thank you.
My apologies. I'm new at this.
No problem.
Just call me Rook.
You don't hear me raising my voice or anything, do you?
No. Outside we will, though.
Pretty impressive, huh, Matt? See how easy I am to work with, Matt?
Very rare.
Thank you. We'll be back in a moment.
When you listen more, hear
So listen.
you understand more. Live from the Hilton Garden in Twinsburg, it's Triv's Coats for Kids raffle on News Radio WTAM 1100.
Swear, I'm here till 6 o'clock today, and then tomorrow we're here from 9 to 6. So I'll find John Adams. I'm telling you, I know he's here.
I have no clue where he is. He might be hiding behind Tony Masaccio.
I'll find him somewhere. Tony's here at the Hilton doing the windows. Shared window cleaning.
12 months out of the year.
12 months out of the year, he cleans windows. Jeff is here, praying for thunderstorms.
How do you say Jeff's last name, Triv? Suszynski? Jeff Suszynski?
I have a tough time with this.
It's Suszynski in Polish. The only Polish word I know. Don't ask me anymore. But
there's no H, but it's pronounced Suszynski. Yes,
that's
it's
right.
Jeff Suszynski from Paul Davis Restoration. And Jeff, if again I can ask you, my church, the roof got struck by lightning. And roof. No, roof is a dog.
Yeah.
And it was tens of thousands of dollars, if not more, to get it repaired. And it took a couple of months to get it done. We actually had to attend church in our school gym, our parish gym. How rare is it that something gets struck by lightning and you have to repair it?
Lightning's interesting. It's certainly not a predictable thing. Of course, none of what we do is, but lightning strikes to churches probably is a little more common than I would say a lot of other things, just due to the height of the buildings. And we've certainly dealt with that before. We've dealt with residences that were struck. A lot of chimneys get struck on residences and get blown up, and luckily don't cause a fire, but we've had the fires as well. So lightning's a scary one.
Neil, you going to sit here or are you going to sell something today? Neil's here from our sales department, WTAM 1100.
Yeah, we're raffling off
2,200 tickets for the Coats for Kids raffle, which will be held.
We'll do that in a minute.
No.
What?
Can we raffle off your car? It's like a fifth prize?
I've got to turn it in before 5,000 miles and get a new one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Tell everybody how they get a hold of Paul Davis Restoration.
Paul Davis Restoration can be reached at 440-834-1155, or you can go to restorationcleveland.com, and everything is outlined there as well on the website.
Triv, I said it before, I really hope that people don't need our services, but if they do, we're ready to be their best friend on their worst day, as our tagline says.
Yeah. It's amazing. You never stop and think about it until a disaster happens. Like you brought up earlier, one of the worst things you saw was a big oak tree falling on a house. It demolished a house, you said, basically, right?
Right. And those oak trees also make a home beautiful. You would go to a house that's surrounded by beautiful trees, and you think, oh, man, this is gorgeous. I pull up and see that stuff, and I'm always thinking, holy moly, I hope that doesn't fall on their house, So perspective has a lot to do with life.
Can you clean up plastic straws?
Oh, no.
I'm only kidding.
How come we're not using cardboard straws anyway?
I don't know.
What
The plastic straw got stuck in a turtle's nose, and somebody put it on the internet, and
that poor turtle.
the next thing you know, there goes plastic straw. So Paul Davis Restoration doesn't supply plastic straws, right?
Oh, absolutely not.
Yes,
no, we're very green.
Attaboy.
I know one more restoration we can do.
Oh, yeah?
We can restore kids by getting them coats. Seth, do you know the numbers? Or are you eating a taco?
I'm good right now. 216-578-1100, 216-578-1111. Lines are open now.
It's another great restoration besides all the great work he does.
Or you can go to WTAM.com. I mean, we're only selling 2,200 of these. We're going till 6 o'clock tonight, and then from 9 to 6 tomorrow. Somebody's going to win $25,000 in cash, $7,000 in cash, $3,000 in cash. And someone else is going to win a brand new car with the sales tax paid from Nissan of North Olmsted, 990 Nissan. So 4 prizes. Tickets are $100. You can call 216-578-1100 right now, 216-578-1100, or you can go to WTAM.com. Jeff, thank you very much, and Paul Davis Restoration for all they've done for Coats for Kids, and thanks for donating today.
Well, Triv, thank you, and thank you for all you've done, and not for just this year, for so many years you've done this, and you really provide a huge service to this community. Thank you.
And one more time, how do they get a hold of Paul Davis?
You can call us at 440-834-1155, or you can find us at restorationcleveland.com.
And hopefully, like you said earlier, it'd be great if the people listening never need your services, right?
I truly believe that, but when it does happen, we're there to help.
Thanks, Jeff. Thank you very much. Seth.
Yes.
What are the phone numbers?
216-578-1100, 216-578-1111. And by the
Are
way,
they filled?
Not yet, but we did have a caller call up and say that I was giving the phone numbers out wrong because I said 578-1111. That is also a phone line to call. I'm not giving the numbers wrong.
So what's the other number?
216-578-1100.
All right. Or?
578-1111.
Or you can go to WTAM.com, right?
I guess you can, but I'd prefer that you make these people here from Coats for Kids busy. Make them do a little work.
$25,000 in cash, $7,000 in cash, $3,000 in cash, and a brand new car from Nissan of North Olmsted, I-90 Nissan. What are you staring at me for? Charles Giles over there, he finally wants to sing. Look at him.
Yeah, he's talking to you.
Prior to that,
He didn't say a word.
Who do you think I'm looking at? Prior to that, he was tired, he said.
Now Tony's tired.
Is John Adams here? Did you find him yet? I'm telling you, Carmen. Can we find John during this news break?
I'll try my darn.
Seth, what are the phone numbers?
216-578-1100, 216-578-1111.
Or
216-578. Or you can go to WTAM.com or CoachForKidsCleveland.org or the Mike Trivisonno Facebook page, or you can join us live right here until 6 o'clock tonight at the Hilton Garden in Twinsburg at 8971 Wilcox Drive.
And it's time to get some more cash.
And don't forget, you can bring used jackets, too. We got a pin out here for Coats for Kids at the Hilton. We'll be back.
News at the top and bottom of the hour. This is News Radio WTAM 1100, an iHeart radio station.